and welcome to the second episode of Sorry, Amma, I Married a Kiwi.
No, you didn't marry a Kiwi. You married a Sri Lankan.
Yeah, I know, I just wanted to say the title out loud.
This is problematic, right? You don't get to say the title at all.
For those just joining us, Amma is Sri Lankan for mum, Kiwi is what us New Zealanders call ourselves.
Yeah, that's why it's a bit of a problem, because I am saying sorry for my mother for marrying a Kiwi.
I can't believe you do that. So we have Amasha, my wife the Sri Lankan, and me, Sam, the Kiwi, welcoming you to our second ever episode.
Yeah, welcome everybody. Ayubowan and Kia ora from both the languages. And just to recap, we just got married fairly recently. And even though we say sorry, Amma, she kind of loves Sam now.
Yeah. I have two doting mothers. It's beautiful.
So what are we going to talk today?
Today we're going to be talking about the origin of the podcast, which was actually part of Amasha's backstory. And I've just happily jumped on that bandwagon. Well, let's jump on into it. Where's that catchy theme song? So, how did these two people meet, Sam and Amasha? How did they come about?
That's a long story. Do we want to go in there today? I don't think
we
so.
should cover it all in the one day, but point being that you obviously, were open to dating a New Zealander, or this wouldn't have happened.
Long. Why would you put me on the spot? No, it is a long story, and I don't think we have enough time to cover that in one episode at all. But yeah, it was a decision that I took, or like it was a risk that I took. I guess because not knowing and having no any examples, anybody who did that's wrong. I'm lying. I have friends who, like Sri Lankan friends, who are married to Pakeha New Zealanders, and they're very beautiful love stories and stuff. But I come from a very traditional family, so it was not a precedent, not the precedent. So for me, and where I come from,
I think that was also the thing, that there's a lot of stories from people who were from like a migrant family but grew up in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Whereas you'd only been here for 5 years when we met.
Yeah.
So, I think it's a very different story for you. You much more had that very strong contrast between who you had been 5 years ago and then, trying to reconcile.
And I my family, I don't think anybody was there living in abroad except me for a long time.
You're a trailblazer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody had ever, you said nobody had ever kind of left the community to go and study overseas, let alone brought somebody back. I mean, I want
exactly.
I want that one.
I want that one.
I want that one.
So nobody was on board.
Yeah.
So it was somehow we met, and we decided to go see the parents and then get the blessings after it.
Yeah. Oh, right, yeah. There was a bit of a
roller coaster.
We're skipping forward slightly.
It's like whoop, whoop.
But yeah, I think in the next one we'll talk a bit more about what that journey going over there was like. But basically, we just feel like a lot of people have really responded to the story while we were over there for the wedding.
Yeah.
I'm not really much of a TikToker, but I don't know if you know this, I posted a TikTok.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
I got to know that from the air hostess who welcomed us to the flight when we were coming back.
Which is still the best moment of my life.
We made it even before we started it.
So it felt like a Hollywood moment. We were leaving Sri Lanka, leaving the wedding to come back home, stepping onto the Sri Lankan Airlines flight. And then the bit that you always rehearse very well, where you hand over the boarding pass.
Yeah.
And you smile and you try and be like the favorite passenger.
Yeah.
I know everyone does that, but I do.
Right.
Do you do that?
I don't think so.
Okay. And then she looked at us and she was like, "Are you the people?"
And meanwhile, I'm standing next to her, I'm like, that.
And I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, "I think you'd know if you're the people."
That was hilarious. She was very invested.
She was so invested. So she was like, "Are you the ones that came over here for the wedding?"
And then I think I said, it's like, yeah, we came for a wedding, but I don't think there's any way that you're going to recognize us. Like, it's not possible. She was very sweet.
And then she's like, "No, you put up the TikTok of the families hugging."
Yeah.
And the TikTok of you guys of you greeting like him at the airport, and we're like, oh my gosh, we've made it.
That was pretty surreal though, that she being like, oh my god, we loved your story, and then like, you have no idea half of the story.
Well, she will, because she's probably listening to this, and
Hopefully.
if you are listening to this, wonderful air hostess, thank you very much for the free cake that you gave us.
That was delicious, and both of our brothers were very jealous about it.
Were they jealous about the plane cake?
I think so.
Oh, that's nice.
But anyways, so the reason we're here is that we had a lot of yeah, I have been told my whole life, like, you should be doing something with your, because I talk a lot, I guess.
Stick that woman in a room, give her a mic.
I can be free.
Commodify that.
So yeah, anyways, my mom was a pretty a massive advocate of it, and then I started Subtle Realities over the podcast.
Subtle Realities.
So, yeah, that was very subtle.
What was
At least I got you from it, no, didn't I?
True. What was the? I just want to know, like, what was the logic behind the name Subtle Realities, or like, what was the original podcast of yours meant to focus on?
Okay, the name Subtle Realities was like, I always I really admire the philosophy of Buddhism, and I just like read a lot. And like that time of my life, being here 3 years under lockdowns, no family at all, and you can't see any friends of yours, and then like not like, it's just a very, very dark period, and had to keep me going. So like the philosophy of Buddhism and meditation and stuff like helped me a lot. And that time I think I was reading into a lot of like people's backgrounds and how somebody comes into being, not just like, I don't know, like, you know, when people made it, or when somebody is telling their like, this is how I come here, they always talk about like, oh, I did this, I did that. And this, like, not in a bad way, but at the same time, it was not like the reality of the, like, how do I put it? Not people talk about their hardship, not many people. Now they do, I think.
Like, I always frame it as a story of inevitable success.
Yeah. But it's really not. And also, you always talk, oh yeah, the other thing is like, you always listen to the people who are A-list celebrities, how they made it, but not everybody can become an A-list celebrity, right? So some people just do so much more, maybe because it depends where your life trajectory is going, and then but still they have put so much, and then to relate to somebody in your caliber, and then how did they do that, and like that amazing stories like Subtle Realities. That's why. And then the behind of what their journeys and stuff like that. So I started interviewing with the first Sri Lankan to climb Mount Everest.
And she is amazing.
She
like
is
such a character.
Such a character. Amazing woman. But so my brother, younger brother, Samesh, he went
Sammy. That's my bro. Hi, Sammy.
The Sammy dude. He went to her house in Colombo while I was recording it here from Auckland, and they forgot to put the fan off, so the audio is a little bit but
so you were like recording on your computer here, and he went over there to her house in Sri Lanka to record her end of it.
Yeah,
which was, I just feel like that was a lot of logistics.
That was a lot of logistics, and then but we got it done. But the only bit was like the audio and stuff. But yeah, and I did that and did a few episodes and stuff, but like never really put the effort and time. Obviously, with like work being very hectic, and all that. But yeah, so I have been told, like you and I have been told by a lot of people that we should do something with the creativity. So we are trying to do something with our creativity.
Exactly. I don't know this. I just felt like when you're talking about how people don't show the true cost of success or what they go through on that journey, I was hearing someone talk recently about the whole idea of follow your dreams and, try and be like these very successful YouTubers or podcasters. Like a lot of those people are very talented, but there's also an enormous amount of luck
100%.
that goes into that. And they kind of compared it to being like if someone who'd won the lottery is like, I can tell you buying a lotto ticket is the best thing you can possibly do. Liquefy all your assets. Go out, buy as many lotto tickets as you can.
Okay.
You cannot fail. Which I think is a really good example of that. It's really important to follow your passion, but you need to have a certain amount of cynicism about people coaching people how to do it when they have had a lot of luck in their lives. They don't necessarily know, what might be best for someone else's journey.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's cool that you were tapping into that.
Yeah, I guess that's what I was trying to do. But somehow you saw that when you were stalking me, and then.
Yeah, so so very early days, I have a clear memory that I was leaving my house. I was on the bottom step doing up my shoelace, and we were messaging a bit at the time, and you sent a link to your Subtle Realities video because I'd already told you. You already knew that I was an author.
Yeah.
And then I watched on YouTube. We should try and link the Subtle Realities one to this because then people can see what I was seeing. But I was trying not to get like my hopes up too much about, of this.
When was this exactly?
Like we'd been messaging a bit, but I don't think we'd been on our first proper date.
Oh, it's even before you met. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I saw a link to that, and then just saw you like in your very, dapper, presentation,
The one I'm trying to tone down here.
But oh my gosh, it was because I was trying to put myself out there and go on some dates and not try and put too much pressure on any of them. And then I was just like hopelessly like head over heels within. That's how good that podcast was. Within the first 2 minutes, I was like, oh my gosh, like I hope this works out or I am like destroyed. Just because it was really engrossing content. And also, yeah, you were just really hot. It was really distracting.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So yeah, we have that to owe for our relationship.
Yeah. I don't know what to say, but anyways. Yeah, at least I just got you from that.
But
no, I got a lot of compliments, and then like everybody loved the story of Jayanti Kuruthampala. She's such a amazing inspiration. Like she was, I mean, in her own words, she was saying like she looks like a teenage boy, like in the size. And because she has short hair and stuff, she was like, I look like a teenage boy, and like my size is a teenage boy. So obviously, I mean, this is going deeper, not probably not, maybe not in our first episode, but like Everest, like the suit that like put you on just to climb for your protection, to breathe and all that kind of stuff, they just don't come in women's sizes.
So just for context, in case people got caught up in the story there, so she's the first Sri Lankan to climb Mount Everest.
Yeah.
She's also very short, very petite in stature.
She's tiny. She's tinier than I am, and I'm very tiny. So, and she was saying like how like those suits doesn't come in women's sizes, and then let alone a tiny Asian small woman. So for like the thing that she wants to, as the first step wasn't there, but still she made it. And then everybody was like, who wants to climb an Everest? Like, who cares? And but she was like, yeah, regardless of what.
We just don't want to climb Everest because we're not interested. We totally could if we tried.
As if. And yeah, so the fact that she just got through it and then like got into the up, that story was amazing. So yeah, and I did a few as well. So somehow, yeah, that's the story.
That's what I was interested in. Like, what was the motivation for doing that podcast, Subtle Realities, and how has that changed to what you want to do here with this podcast?
I think from I think with the life, how the life went, and then the fact that I'm not gonna say anybody gave you me because I fought for you, and
yes, you did.
And so the fact that sort of universe given somebody who has the same way of speaking and then the same sort of talents, like that caliber, like the fact that I wanted to do something with what I have, and when I have the same person as my husband, and like the fact what we went through, and then like we are coming to a multicultural world, right? We live in a multicultural city, and we see a lot of couples who are from different cultures like getting together, and then like that amazing stories and how they deal with it. And then we had to, I feel like more than some couple, I mean, we had a lot. We went, it was a short time, but we went through a lot to get here. And how did we do that? And then I had a lot of friends who told me like, this is like, you guys should talk about it. This would help a lot of people who are in the same sort of place, and then they wouldn't feel alone. And obviously I was Googling, and Reddit was telling me so many stories of people in the same scenarios and stuff like that. So yeah, it was I thought
Having there isn't an exact blueprint for it, but having one would have been so nice.
pardon?
Having a blueprint for what to do and how to navigate this
Exactly.
would have been so good. Even though that doesn't exist, like you say, hearing other people's stories
Yeah.
and how they tried to handle that was really helpful.
I mean, at least to feel like I'm not the only one who's going through this, right? It's a massive comfort. And yeah, if anybody gets something from our conversations, that would be great. If not,
yeah,
at least we think we are funny.
we hope we're amusing, like at least intellectually engaging at some level.
But yeah, so we have great conversations. So why not record them?
And I think we're going to flesh out a lot more what the whole journey was with family. But I think it's important that even as emotionally vexing and difficult as a lot of that was for us, it's still, like you said, it's still beautiful that there is that kind of conflict between cultures and different ways of seeing. That difference is what's so amazing.
Yeah.
And my mum said something really interesting to me when I started dating you, which was, she doesn't remember saying this, and she's happy that she's so wise without knowing it. But she said that when you're dating someone from a different culture who comes from a different place, that you expect difference. If you're dating another Kiwi from Auckland who lives on fish and chips, any time you have a disagreement, you'll be really frustrated because you're like, we come from the exact same place, we have the same values, how could we disagree about
this? How do you think different?
Yeah. But when you come to it with respect and reverence for the different place that your partner comes from, it's, I mean, I'd say this has been different than any relationship, obviously because I'm married to you. You're my favourite and the one I've chosen.
I hope so.
But also it has had that whole element to it. Part of it's your personality, that you're so easy to get on with and we just gel so well. But I think part of it is also, that respect for each of us having such a different time and place.
That's really a beautiful way of looking at it. Mum's approach to it, or her wisdom, even though she doesn't remember, I think it's kind of like when we go into a relationship expecting the other person to act the way we act or react the way we would react, that expectation kind of make you disappointed. I mean, in general, as we talked about the Buddhism, the philosophy and things, I think one of the things that I learned is the lesser the expectations you are, or if you don't have any expectations, there's no room for disappointment. So I feel like it's a beautiful way of looking at it, especially when you're going to a relationship that is very hard or expected to be hard because of the changes or differences of two people. So I think when you go into a relationship without any expectations, it kind of makes things easy. I feel like not just for intercultural relationships, if you are going to a relationship without expecting the other person to react the way you would react, it makes things easier.
Yeah, I think when we're saying no expectations, we're being clear. We mean we did expect it to be great. We just...
No. I didn't mean expectations about the relationship outcome.
Yeah, just putting that out
there. Or the person to be a nice person, a kind person, and treat you properly. Those expectations are there. They have to be there. I remember you telling me that very early on, and it kind of makes things easier for me too. And if there's something different, I'm like, okay, yep, I see why it's different.
There's also the slight element of, because we felt a need that we had to prove or convince other people of the genuine and stable nature of this relationship. But we had to find ways to get on the same page very early on. I feel like that really pushed us to find how we could connect and to be very open and transparent with each other.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if I should say it that way, but us against the world sort of thing, even though we had so many people cheering us on, the fact that we had to prove it connects us a lot quicker.
It was very Game of Thrones, House of Dragon. We really had to stabilize our alliance.
First thing, get it out of the way. You are the team.
Raise the banners.
The banners, you have to make sure that we're not fighting each other.
So we might go into that a bit more next time, but that's us for episode 2.
Yes. Tune in. In the next episode, we will be talking about how Sam got to go to Sri Lanka.
Oh, that's exciting.
All right. See you guys for the next episode.
Thanks, everybody. See you soon.
See ya.
Bye.